Talk Show.
It's a daily talk show, and we're live from West Hollywood
The
in
front
Los
door
Angeles.
edition.
Yes.
Front door edition, West Hollywood front door edition.
And we got Reece Mitchell.
Yeah, good to be here.
I mean, I've seen you for all of 5 minutes before this has started, and I haven't seen you in months and months.
I know, and I walk through your grassy entrance.
Mm-hmm. Do you like our pad?
It's really cool. How do the people in the duplex feel about you hosting a talk show from the
we haven't brought
courtyard?
it up.
No, I met Gary, and I told Gary what
really?
we do, but I didn't tell him.
Gary
what we-
Vaynerchuk.
No, Gary, his name is. He's
Okay.
English fella who lives over. I think he lives here,
Mhm.
and they're here for the races. So I think they're here to party. So we're okay doing podcasting.
They're fine. They're probably sleeping.
This is pretty nerdy in comparison.
Yeah.
If you think about
Yeah,
it.
very true.
We're in your hometown now, Reece.
Yeah.
How's it going here?
I mean,
buddy?
I don't live in West Hollywood.
What do you? I mean,
It's-
as an Aussie living in LA, what do you think of this area now?
West Hollywood?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Sydney. It's just like Sydney. Fantastic. I love West Hollywood. It's just like Sydney. Yeah, it's all right. I don't know. It depends what you're after.
But do the locals or the people who are living here think it's a bit? You know, like it's obviously the trendy place from the outside, West Hollywood.
Yeah,
WeHo.
yeah. WeHo.
WeHo.
Whoa, whoa.
WeHo.
WeHo. West
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Don't know how
Yes,
to get comfortable on the
Oh, yeah,
stairs
sorry.
on
Yeah.
the terracotta.
So yeah. Do they think it's a bit too cool? Is
It
that what
depends
you're
who you're talking to.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't want to diss West Hollywood.
Oh, wait, where do you live?
I live in Highland Park.
Uh-huh. And what does that?
It's
what
like
does
the
that mean for
Thornbury
you?
of LA.
Oh, is
Okay.
it?
Oh, that's cool though.
Yeah,
That's,
I like it.
Yeah.
So hipster. Is it hip there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lot more graffiti.
I always want to be like, yeah, there's hipsters, but I'm not one of them. Like, I mean, fuck. They look at me and they're like, there's a king hipster.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think we grew up in the non-hipster area.
Yes.
It was the
South side.
south
It was the West
side.
Hollywood.
It was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
West Hollywood of Melbourne.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then, but now we work over the west north side, and Josh
Mhm.
lives over north side.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we're closer to the hipster culture than we've
Mhm.
ever been.
A,
And
la-
so
a lady yelled at me out of a car last night
saying
and
what?
said, "White bitches don't belong here." And I was like, fair.
It's a white bitch, aren't you?
I was like, it was, yeah. I mean, it was, yeah.
And what was her vibe? What was it?
I don't know. I was just kept walking.
What kind of a car?
It was actually a Cadillac. Yeah. I was getting my photos done at little plug here. This place called Tom. You should do this for a daily
episode or something.
talk show photo
Mhm.
shoot. You go to Tom's 1 Hour in I think it's Koreatown,
Mhm.
and they do. This guy paints his own backdrops.
Oh,
He
great.
really tells you how to pose. Like
Uh-huh.
you're not allowed to smile. Like very serious.
Like headshots we're
headshots,
talking.
$25. Truly
Oh.
go get them.
Yes,
They're
$25.
like, they're like from another era.
So-
Go get the daily talk show headshots done there.
Are they meant to be
tomorrow.
a bit ironic or no? Like, are you going to
They've
use
become.
them?
I guess people like them ironically, but
Uh-huh.
he said he's been doing the same thing for 30 years.
Well,
and he's like, and I had, business was slow, but it's picked up again.
Oh, that's
We
good.
were walking down Melrose last night, and this guy was just smoking a durry, and he looked like someone out of a movie, leather jacket, and so I kind of and he was talking to these people that he ushered into this doorway, and I thought, this is going to be great, let's have an interaction with him. And next minute he's like, you guys like comedy? You guys like comedy? And we're like, yeah. He's like, you want to do some comedy? Come upstairs, $5, do some comedy.
Whoa.
He wanted to pull us off the street to actually do some stand-up.
Not watch comedy. Do
Like do a
comedy.
tight five.
Open mic. Yeah.
Literally, he's
That's
like,
$1 a minute.
he's like, you can do a 5, so we're going to pay to do our 5.
I guess that makes sense.
But it's I think it's a very Hollywood thing to be trying to pull you off the street to do the thing that's really, really hard,
Yeah.
which is stand
It's
up.
like being outside of like Rod Laver Arena. So, do you want to do a performance?
Yeah, you come in, you get
Yeah.
5. It's $5,000 a minute. It's some weird shit. What are the weird stuff since you? How long you've lived here now?
This is my second year.
Holy shit!
I
Has it been
know.
that long?
I know.
183.
Yep.
Episode 183
Yeah.
was the last time we had you on.
And
Holy
you
shit.
were in Melbourne. I was overseas. We FaceTimed.
Oh,
That's how we
that's
did.
right.
we did
Is this the
the-
first time you guys have met?
I feel like
In
we
person?
Human
maybe,
life,
maybe,
yeah.
maybe in human life. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're,
Yeah.
we're cyber friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Which is the future.
Yeah, no, we're definitely VR, cyber sort of
We're
friends.
VR friends.
And if you've
Headset
if
friends.
you haven't listened to 183, Reece and I went to primary school together. You're my oldest friend.
Yes.
He's
amazing.
89
Amazing
years
result.
old.
Yeah, but I'm just a drug addict.
Wait, yeah.
I take all the like IV and everything.
Yeah,
It keeps
yeah.
me young, you know.
He's looking. He's had the surgery.
Why
the
did
West
you?
Hollywood
Why
surgery.
did you go to move to LA?
Why did I move to LA? I came here for an acting. I've really reclined now.
No,
that's fine.
I've
All
actually
cores
sunk
are
into it.
disengaged.
Yeah,
Sunk into it. This is
No,
actually
I just
quite
think my
comfy.
back is spasming from the terracotta, and I'm like, you're gonna have to wheel me out of here. I came here for a TV series for FX in 2017, which still hasn't come out.
This is the one with the shark, the fake shark.
Yeah, I
Is
can't really. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say on the air,
Okay.
but it's yeah.
Is it going to happen? Is it
Yeah,
coming
it
out?
should come out. They sang January 2nd.
Who
on
was
Hulu
who was
and
in it? There was
FX.
someone
Okay.
cool in it, other than Reese Mitchell.
I mean,
Or can you not say
Alexander
that?
Fenger, but I don't know if you know him. That sounds
No,
mean.
I think you've showed me photos of the person,
Right.
the quirky other person that was on the
Haley
set.
Magnus is on it.
Yeah,
Deb
some
Filler.
cool people. So you
It's
came
good.
over here to do
I
that.
did that, and then I went home. And then I had a visa, and I was like, I'll just come back. And
Mhm.
then I came for like 5 weeks, had a return flight, but then just didn't go back. I was like, I don't know what am I going to race back and work in a bakery again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What were you doing
Because I
at a
literally
bakery?
was working in a bakery.
What,
Yeah, yeah.
what bakery?
Elwood sourdough.
It was selling some
And
good sourdough.
I'm like, there's no problem in saying that.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
It's great
that's a good
sourdough.
plug.
Oh, well, if
Would
you're going
you
to work
ever-
in any
would you-
bakery,
good plug. No, that's $1,300 worth of a plug. If we were to charge for plugs,
Should we invoice him?
Yeah, we
I'll
should
send
definitely.
Greg a message. I plugged you, so pay up. I would just love a bag of bread. It's the best sourdough I've ever had.
Did you ever? Were you ever baking, or were you just behind the counter?
They were trying to get me to bake,
Uh-huh.
but I was like, I really want to be an actor. But I was tempted because it's like an actual career
Mm.
that's like kind of secure.
Yeah.
People like bread, so
Well, did you
this
ever
is some
do a
of the
share?
wisdom. This is like TEDx, you know. People like bread.
No, you're just dropping truth bombs.
I
in
know
a big
it's
way.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's like I'm feel enlightened, you know.
I feel like outside of, well, in LA, do people eat much bread? Are people funny about bread? In all seriousness,
Bread is like, I think gluten-free bread or like paleo bread is
Oh, yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
big
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
You know, like it's like people constantly want to have a thing but find a way to like not have it at the same time, you know.
Mhm.
Oh, so you're saying like the paleo
Fake
bread
meat.
is having bread but not
Yeah,
having
like
bread.
the fake meat,
Impossible
fake bread,
burger, all
which
that
makes sense.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think bread is. Oh, Greg's gonna hate me.
Well, we've lost it. We're going to lose our $1,300. We'll
I-
retract the invoice.
I don't think bread is a healthy choice. I mean, sourdough is the best option, I would say, because of the fermentation process. It's easier for digestion, but it's
Mhm.
like, generally speaking, I don't know how much bread we should be eating.
Yeah. So you decided that you didn't want to necessarily do that, so you moved back here. When you were in Melbourne,
I know, I just didn't go back.
Okay, so you stayed.
Yeah, I had a flight and I kept pushing it. I kept moving it.
So you lost the flight, or do you have
No.
a credit with Qantas or something?
No, I just pushed it to Christmas time, to the time I saw you guys.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Okay,
sure.
so that was the
okay.
first time.
Yeah, and then I came back, and then I did Glitch. I acted in Glitch. That's why I was in town.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's right.
And was that you being the Irishman?
Yeah.
I love that. That was so good. Just a heroin addict Irishman. Was that it?
Yep.
Opium.
Yeah.
That was a good scene.
I think it's like one of my ancestors.
And so coming to LA, do you have to change the way that you live in regards to, like, were you doing share house? Were you at
I was
home
living
still?
in a walk-in wardrobe.
Yeah.
In LA.
Yeah, I was literally living in a wardrobe. Like I lay on the floor, my feet would touch the wall
Any
on a
windows?
tatami mat. No, it was
Okay.
truly someone's wardrobe.
Oh, okay.
I lived in a cupboard. I mean, it's a real rags to riches story because I
Yeah.
have my own room. Thank you very much. I made it. Yeah,
Does
and
it
it's,
have a window?
it does. It has
oh, that's
two.
good. Oh, wow.
It has two windows.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like, yeah, it's incredible what you can achieve here. If you just fucking vision board, put your mind to it.
Get yourself a room.
You get yourself a room. Yeah.
Island Park.
But
and guess
dealing
what?
with
I have my
housemates?
own wardrobe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That someone else lives in.
We're renting that out.
Yeah. But so, like, from a share house experience, what is that like? Like, dealing with people? I've never done it.
You never been in a share house?
No. So my girlfriend Brie and I, we've been together for 12 years. So the only share house I've ever had is an apartment with her, which feels a little bit different compared to getting along with people, having your own things, sharing things.
I think it's pretty lucky to get to
Yeah.
not have to move into a share house.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've lived in so many places here. When I first came here, I lived with actors,
Mhm.
actor comedians. That was really fun. They would always have. It was fun all the time. Fun,
Mm.
but
A lot of improv.
a lot of. Actually, they do things like script reading. Like someone would write a script and everyone would get together. And,
Oh, that's fun.
yeah, so it was quite creative.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of marijuana
Mm-hmm.
in that house, which isn't really my style.
No, it's
Mhm.
not. We
Like
did all of that when we were young.
Yeah, I know.
We
That's
got
the
rid of it
thing.
all.
Yeah, been there, done that. A lot of marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
So it smelled like marijuana a lot, which isn't really my thing.
Would they worry about the landlords? Like if you're doing it inside?
Truly,
that
I
it's
saw a fumigation tent on the house after we all moved out.
gonna... Really?
Yeah, and I was like,
What
did we have bugs? And they're like, no, I think it's just marijuana in the walls.
Because we've driven past a few places and think Breaking Bad, if you've seen that, where he would be cooking the meth inside of the house, and it looks like a circus tent
Mm.
around the house. We saw a bunch yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
And so is there a bug problem in
Oh,
Hollywood?
I think so. I think there's a bug problem in Hollywood. There's a bug problem. I love that question so much that I don't even want to answer it. I just want it to just land and exist.
Well, look at the
There's a bug problem.
The
There's a bug- is
mosquitoes.
there a bug
The
problem?
mosquitoes seem crazy. Like
there's
I'm
a lot
getting.
of fleas.
Okay.
Is there?
Yeah.
So there's a real
There's
bug
a bug
problem.
problem. You know, bed bugs are the scariest one of them all.
Yeah.
Have you had any bed
No.
bugs? No.
That's more of a New York thing.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have a
Oh.
bed at the start.
I didn't have a bed.
No, Josh-
I had wardrobe bugs.
Last time you were in California.
So when I was in California, I never never worked out if it was bed bugs. I can show you the photos of what the bites or whatever it was.
Was it 3?
No, it was.
They grouped
It
in
almost.
three.
I felt like.
Didn't you put it out there and someone said it is bed bugs?
Yeah, it was like the place that we're staying at smelt like. The initial one smelt like weed, like really strong. I said, "Can we move?" And they moved us to another one, which smelt like bleach. You know those hotels?
Uh-huh.
It's like either
Someone's
weed
just
or
been
bleach.
killed.
Getting rid of blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so in the bed, all of a sudden I just got like crazy amounts of rash. But I don't know I don't know if it was the bed bugs. I should
Yeah.
try and find a photo.
Mr. 97, you just Googled something and about LA.
Just then.
I need some prompting. You Googled about the sensitivity of something. He was complaining, I've got itchy arm, my skin's so dry. And then next minute he's been Googling.
No. On the weather app, Apple's weather app, it says LA, sunny, 21 degrees, poor air quality for sensitive groups.
It
So-
truly says that
Yeah.
all year round, and I'm very sensitive.
Yeah.
And all my friends are sensitive groups. All year round, it's like bad air quality
Yeah.
for sensitive people. I'm like,
the
hey,
Venn diagram, you're just right in the middle there.
What
it
class
makes you write folk songs.
What's a sensitive group? What is that? Is that
Definitely
like...
script readings involved. I
Yeah,
think.
totally.
Did you get hay fever?
Oh, I get hay fever. I get eczema around my eyes. It's really hard living here.
Yeah.
I'm serious. The
Asthma?
air quality is so bad. I have asthma now.
Mhm.
You never
Um,
had asthma, did
I
you?
know I have it here. I have one of those puffers.
Ventolin.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they're like $1,000 or something.
Really?
Yeah, so
you
Probably
just
like 12 grand. This place is nuts.
Yesterday you texted me and said my elbow. I've
Yeah.
got an infected
My
elbow.
elbow.
My elbow.
I just texted you my elbow. My elbow. Yeah.
And you
Which
said
is
you've got an
code.
infected elbow. And then I think I scared the shit out of you by saying, is it staph?
You scared the shit out of me because if I get something serious here,
Yeah.
I will just die.
Yeah.
I'll just have
Why?
to die because the healthcare system here is bananas.
And
Yeah.
so, do you have your own insurance or no?
I do through the. You have insurance through the Actors Union,
Uh-huh.
but I mean it's still really expensive. But I was
Do
using.
they cover you for emotional damages if it's
I-
not going well for actors in LA?
That's so funny. Maybe that should be pitched at the next SAG union meeting. God, that would cost them a fortune. Have you heard of the driving cry?
No.
It's a thing that a lot of actors do when you've just done an audition or whatever. You got some news or you've just existed as an actor in LA and you're just driving on the freeway and just tears. It's like crying, just the reality of your life. But I went to the doctor and I had this, my elbow was killing me. I thought I broke it. I thought I must have bumped something or maybe I checked a kick in kickboxing. Don't tell my mum. And then it was really, really sore.
And do you?
But there was I don't remember any trauma to it, and I think I've just from leaning on it, I read that you can get an infection in the tissue.
So do you have a specific GP here that you go to, or how do you book it?
I just went to
doctor's
some like
appointment.
Hollywood place, and it's got like seriously the Hollywood letters on like the doctor's
Really?
office, you know, like Hollywood, whatever.
And so
MD
what's
or
the
something.
doctor like? Were they like, here's what drugs do you want? Is
Yeah,
it-
and
I
also
just-
gave me his headshots. Just kidding. Yeah, no, he was just like, I had 2 injections in my butt, which I've never had before.
What
for your
Elbow.
For
They
your
were like
elbow?
antibiotics and anti-inflammatory. They're like, if this gets into your bones and whatever,
so
muscles.
whether, can you
You're very
show us?
hyperbolic over here,
Yeah,
aren't
and
they?
they just upsell you with drugs and stuff. And
And
then I
so-
got all these tablets and stuff, and I'm like, gee whiz. I just thought it was like I bruised my elbow.
So did he say that it was in fact an infection?
Or did you say
Yeah.
my
Or did
you
friend
say it's an
diagnosed it
infection?
as
No,
staph?
because it was big.
How big is it now? Is
It's
it
gone
still
down a lot.
since the
I had my
jab?
butt hurts from the injections. I've never had an injection in my butt.
Really?
Yeah.
Never.
No, we got them in Elswick Primary. Don't you remember that?
That was what?
Don't you remember? Maybe you'd gone by then. But we used to wait in the hall and we'd go in and we'd
Oh, I
stand
do
there and
remember.
get the injection.
What were they for?
Who knows?
Just
Who
keeping
knows? I
everyone
think it might have been
quiet.
tetanus at one point.
Mm.
But it was right near our the classroom, like the main
Holy
hall.
crap!
We
Maybe
used
it
to
was
walk in.
tetanus.
Yeah, you definitely have got a tetanus shot in your life.
Definitely.
You have to.
Do you find it weird that we learn about sex education from a giraffe in a van?
Yeah, that's it. Well, they also
Was
do
it-
do you remember
dental,
that?
wasn't it?
To,
They do a lot of
teeth.
stuff.
They do teach you about everything.
Do a lot of people know about that? Because I brought it up to some people, and they have no idea what I'm talking about.
So Harold,
Harold.
they had them in New Zealand when I was over there. I drove past. It looked like a Harold graveyard. There was like 20 vans of Harold.
You can see how it all comes to be. Like the government probably gives a bunch of cash to. So, well, I feel like that's a common thing in Australia. Actors can end up on the circuit of going to high schools and doing like medieval performances.
Oh my god, the Ren Fair here is the most committed performances I've ever seen in my life.
What is that?
What's Ren
The
Fair?
Renaissance Fair
What is that?
Renaissance.
in Pasadena.
We don't know anything.
I think it's Pasadena. Well, basically, it's like medieval.
Mm.
It's like a medieval fair,
Yeah.
and everyone is in,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
garb,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they do like jousting, and
Yeah.
they're so committed. Like everyone is so committed to the performances. Like they live it. They really live those characters.
And so
You
what?
should go.
When's it on?
We'd
Every Saturday.
have to Google it. I mean, I'm like, it's actually not a bad gig if you were having a hard time as an actor.
Mm.
Well, what's the opposite? What's the alternative? Uber.
I
like,
think so.
Actor. We met an actor who had come here obviously to pursue acting.
He was
Uh-huh.
on
Now
Australian
he's-
Idol. He did singing and stuff.
Now he's done 26,000 Uber rides,
Well, oh my god, that's
and he was acting
didn't-
for us in the car.
shivers.
He was doing impersonations.
Why
That's
didn't
he brought the bread business with him. That's what he's done.
Why didn't he just stay in Australia if it was
No,
Well,
going
he
well?
wasn't from Australia.
No.
I don't even know where he was from.
He was on some kind of some talent show.
Mhm.
I just think go where the opportunities are. You don't
Yeah.
have to be here. I think some people turn up, especially people who win the green card. Oh.
Mhm.
Are you going for it? Are you trying to win it?
Yeah, I would like to, but I don't know. I just think I think some people turn up here and they think, well, I'm in Hollywood now,
Mm.
so it's like so. I mean, it's obvious, but it's the most competitive thing in the world.
Yeah,
You got to
but
be really sure you want this and you don't have a plan B. If you have a plan B, you're going to take it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, don't have a plan B. Come here and live in a cupboard.
How
and
do you
then-
avoid the plan B?
I think you have to be crazy.
Yeah.
I really do. I think you have to be like kind of deluded and like it doesn't work out for many people, but it might work out for me, and just like
Yeah.
be willing to put the work in. I
How do
don't
you
know.
make money not having a plan B?
I don't know.
well, because you've got the exceptional talent visa, A1, is it?
O1?
O1,
Yeah.
which means you can't work. You can't work in the bread shop down here.
No, I can't. I can only work
At an exceptional bread shop.
at an exceptional bread. No, if I was like acting for the bread shop, it would be,
Yeah. Could you do? It's like
Yeah,
I'm
performance art.
performing. I mean, it does get interesting because you're like, who governs
Yeah.
or decides what? Like, if you have an artist visa,
Yeah, yeah.
who decides what the boundaries of art
Oh,
is?
absolutely.
Like, if you're here as a fine artist or like a conceptual artist,
Mm.
what if you were like, well, part of my exploration is to work in a bread shop?
Yeah, being
Part of
relatable.
my- you know,
Yeah.
what if that is your
method
artwork?
acting.
Yeah.
I'm slipping into a character in the bread shop.
I think it would be really interesting. You'd probably be deported,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I wonder how that works. I actually don't know.
It feels like it would be a lot of admin for them to be trying to catch everyone on an exceptional.
Yeah,
and so-
I never break the rules. By the
Yeah.
way,
Oh,
Never.
that's good.
never,
Just act.
ever. I don't want to risk it. I just
Yeah, yeah.
and
do
so,
what I'm allowed to do.
so plan B, you've taken off the table. What about a time frame? Say
Here?
for here.
Well, Time is like an illusion. So yeah, that's just a bit of Buddhism. I don't know. I really don't know. I have no idea what I'm
But
doing.
so-
I'm just like, I have no idea.
What do you do in a day? Like you wake up. What time do you wake
I
up?
wake up. I wake up early. Actually, I'm
Mhm.
an early riser. Right now, I'm doing a lot of writing. I'm
Mhm.
auditioning a lot.
Do you have final draft?
Yeah.
Well, you're legit.
Can you
then.
only write
Yeah.
on Final
That's
Draft?
how you know.
Well, yeah, no. If you have, I remember I knew that I was entering into screenwriting when I bought Final Draft. Then I got over it.
Yeah. Is there anyone else? So Final Draft, if you don't know, it looks like typewriter font. So it's just a hipster program.
Well,
that
It's
you,
a script writing
Yeah.
program.
Yeah, it's not just
Yeah.
career new. That's not the only thing it
It's-
does. But you can. No, the great thing is you can press enter or whatever, and you can get into dialogue really quickly, and you can format.
okay, so
as
it's
you go.
for the formatting.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, how many? I always just push back on these things of like, why can't you just write on Word?
Or you could.
Do
There is.
have you got mates that are just like, nah, fuck that, stupid. It's stupid. We can work that out later.
Not really.
Nah.
I guess it would be. I think I did that for a long time.
Yeah.
But then when it was like, oh, actually, I want to take this seriously, I
Yeah.
think making those little investments and things like that is important.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, if you actually invest in a script writing program, you might use it. It's
Yeah.
like signing
Yeah.
up to a gym, you know?
Mm, yeah, I've done
Oh, you
that. It
sign
doesn't
up?
work. I've
No,
got Final
no.
Draft and my Fitness First, and they're both as good as
okay,
each
so
other.
then, so if the proof is in the pudding,
I
then
know,
it's
I
not
actually
about
bought
buying the
Slugline.
program,
There's another program called Slugline,
which you still
is
don't use.
no.
So then, in saying that, what is the thing that gets you if you wake up and you said you've been writing scripts? What makes you start writing?
What makes me start writing? I think that I'm like, because I do want to do a lot more of that.
Mm.
You know, I would like to, because I'm not really allowed. I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about, but I
okay,
have
yeah,
a thing
yeah.
coming up which you guys
Yeah,
know
sure.
about.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. Top secret.
Top secret.
And so
Until
does
it's-
Which
that
is
have
exciting.
deadlines
Okay,
though?
so let's say you've
writing is-
written something,
Uh-huh.
and there's something happening, which we can't talk about. But what I'm trying to say is, you say buy the program, sure, but it's not the thing that will make you do the thing. How do you make you do the thing?
I think you just got to put time aside to do it. You got to be like you're going to an office job or whatever.
Mm.
You have to work within this time frame, or you have to achieve a certain amount of things. I think earlier in the day is good, and then you can just like go to the gym or exercise or whatever you need to do for the rest of the day.
Well,
But I think scheduling is important to be like, I do this on this day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you've been doing this shit since I can remember. Probably, yeah. I remember you in acting class in grade 5 and 6. Like I remember you going to do this stuff. So you've built a muscle of
Yeah.
actively doing the thing you love, and then you and your brothers. I know you've had that, like the script writing
Yeah,
stuff. And
totally.
so you've been doing it. So there's been a muscle that's built. But
Yeah.
I can imagine a lot of people come here and think, okay, I'll buy that thing, and then they go to Starbucks, but they can't write anything.
Yeah.
There's nothing to write.
That's true. I mean, you can't ever be taught how to be you can be taught how to write technically, but
Mm.
it's not you're not necessarily gonna have good ideas or anything. I don't know. Maybe my ideas aren't that good either, but I've always just done it. And I love doing
Mm.
it, so that's part of it. Like I really enjoy it. I enjoy acting and I enjoy writing, so it's not so much of a chore for me. It's kind of just a pleasure. Like I love my job, so I want to be doing more of it. I'd love to be doing more acting. It's like this really rare drug that you can hardly ever get, and then you get it, and it's the best high.
Mm.
And so,
I'm totally sober, by the way. Sounds like but I actually am. This is my this is the drug
green
of choice,
juice.
the green
Yeah,
juice.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
delicious.
We bought it from him. It'd be real Hollywood of him to rock up drinking a green smoothie
Thank you. Totally.
from Whole Foods.
When you've written something out and it's on the screen, do you I guess it's just all words on a screen. Do you actively print stuff out and annotate on things, or do you not?
I
Feel
do it on
need?
the computer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Makes
just
sense.
keep it digital.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to tell you something. I'm just like going rogue here.
Yeah, that's great.
You were talking about gym memberships.
Mhm.
Yes.
My dad signed up.
Did he?
Yeah.
Big
So
Bear.
Big Bear signed up. So he signed up to a gym, and I found out, I'm like, you going to the gym? He's like, yep, going to the gym. Like, he's like, I guess turning his life around.
Yeah, yeah.
Turns out he's just going in the sauna. And then he got treatment from my friend, Michael, who's a myotherapist at the Sports and Spinal Group. Bit of a plug.
Oh,
Sorry.
I think I may have.
It's a great place. I
Been
don't know
there
why
before.
I'm plugging
Do they
all
have
the-
one in Frankston?
Bo Morris.
Okay. I got
Maybe they do.
I got an epidural somewhere for my 2 herniated discs, and I feel like it was.
That sounds like
Sounds
they
like
need
a
to
nice
go to.
place
You need to go to a hospital to get that.
No, it
Yeah.
was a sports and because I remember
wow,
I was
they have
really
the ability to do
because I remember being like
to give a pregnant
impressed.
man.
No, well, I felt impressed because I felt a bit sporty. I'm like, oh, if it's good enough for the footy players, it's good enough for JJ.
Fantastic.
And so Big Bear's using the sauna, and what
He's
did your
using
mate
the
say?
sauna, and my friend was treating him, and now he can walk downstairs.
Wow.
Oh, how
That's
bad
pretty
was
He
it?
had trouble doing that, and
Really?
my mum was like, yeah, he had bad knee, and my mum was like, now that he can walk downstairs, he only wears activewear. And he wears like full sports outfits now.
I
This is
feel like
great.
that's the thing.
Stairs.
You're wearing
Asics.
Asics.
They call them Asics here.
Yeah,
Which is
Asics,
trivia.
yeah.
which is I think they're the exact same pair as mine, but yours is a bit newer by the looks of it. When it comes to style in LA, do you feel like is there pressure to dress a certain way?
I like to dress like a kickboxing instructor from Ringwood. Kind of,
Which is kind
hoodie,
of cool.
sportswear.
Yeah.
It's all functional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Could throw a high kick,
Yeah,
and kick
but
at any
won't.
moment, but never you will.
What about
because he's got that out of his system in a controlled environment.
doing auditions? Would you?
I dress up a little.
Do you?
Yeah, like I try to lean. I
Into
make
the
it
character?
like a little, but without it being like
Yeah.
I wouldn't wear like a full like medieval garb,
sure.
for example. But, I think that stuff is so desperate and insane,
Yeah.
and that's what you do at like commercial castings.
You just imagine you with like a metal hat, just waiting for your audition.
Yeah, with a sword.
No, I don't think you've changed too much since I've seen you, like in terms of how you're dressing.
No, I wear a lot of barbed wire now, though.
Yeah. Is that
Oh,
a
yeah,
thing?
just so people know that I'm hardcore. No, I don't know.
Where do you get that from?
My friend got it for me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
As a present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, I did have a casting the other day, and I think they sent me the wrong brief because it said wear heels. And it said these women are sophisticated. And I was like, I have long hair.
And what did you do?
I
My
just
bitches don't belong here.
I just wore like a. It was said fancy hotel guest.
Just a wedge
Yeah.
heel.
No,
instead.
I just dressed kind of fancy, but then I got there and these guys were in like full tuxes and stuff.
Really?
And like, yeah, people really go for
Mhm.
it. And then all the women were in like ball gowns and heels
Yeah.
and stuff.
So you've obviously hang around a bunch of actors. Are you having conversations about, like, I would be wanting to understand, is there any like little tip or trick to give me an advantage? So some people might be not having conversations with their friends about going in a full tux because their mates might be like, dude, that's a bit try hard.
Yeah.
Then you're not there to show them your outfit, you're there to show them your acting.
Oh my God, you have to just, I think, I don't know, they're all different. Commercial casting, it can really work for you. If you go
And is
basically
that
in character.
a TVC?
Like
do
for
you mean?
an ad,
For an ad, yeah.
That will work in your favour.
So if you were doing like a Best Buy commercial,
Yeah.
wearing like a blue polo,
Yeah. They
would
like
work.
if they read the brief and really
Mhm.
commit to it, they'll love that stuff.
sure. Because the client, I guess, like
Yeah.
if you're a
Yeah.
marketing director or whatever, you could get off
Yeah.
in seeing an actor wearing a.
Yeah, that's what the devil loves.
Yes.
The devil wants to see you completely give yourself away to some evil product that makes children bold or something.
You were up on the big billboard. I know my mum said to me, have you seen
I know. I
Have
just
you
like
seen
quick
the
segue into the fact that I am a sellout.
have you seen Reese's billboard?
Yeah, for
And
alcohol,
I
and I
said,
don't
where-
even drink grog.
I said, where'd you see it? And he said, Di.
My mum.
Yeah, Reese's
She got
mum
Facebook.
posted it.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, my mum keeps up with everything your mum's doing, and then tells me what your
My
mum's
mum
doing.
was posting accidentally. She's like, I think I've been hacked. I was like, why? She's like, I've been posting missing persons photos from 1987. I'm like, what the? Yeah, so that was part of the reason. No offense, Mum, but that was part of the reason I got off Facebook because I was like, my mum on Facebook. She signed everything off Love Mum. Yeah, she posts all that stuff, which is so sweet.
But you were on a billboard. What happened with the Ed Sheeran thing?
Yeah. So when I got there to the casting, they did all the costume stuff. Really nice Versace shirt, actually. I was hoping I could forget to return it, but
So was it a casting for photos?
or
a video,
It was a
like-
video.
Okay.
It was an ad, and it was like, yeah. Anyway, so
Is it on YouTube?
I can't find it.
Okay.
But you can drive down Hollywood Boulevard and see my big
It's
face.
still there?
Yeah, go get a shot with it.
Oh, we will.
Yes.
Yeah, it's humongous.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And I have like a brown leather jacket over my shoulder. I'm like, anyway. When I did the thing, they showed me the storyboard, and someone had drawn this, by the way.
Mhm.
It was like Reese comes to the door and he looks like sheepish or embarrassed because he's late. It was truly Ed Sheeran. They drew Ed Sheeran. Like someone took the time to draw his face and not mine. And it said Reese arrived, and it's Ed Sheeran. I'm gonna post it. It was so insane. I was like, that feels really unfair. What? Just because he's a redhead? Like no one talks about this.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It's just not on the agenda.
But
All redheads look the same. All redheads are the same. It's like, get out of here. Anyway,
He's a talented redhead.
he really is. I'd love
He's
to have his
great.
net worth. You know what I mean? Anywho,
where do you shop for groceries?
I do this thing called Imperfect Produce. Why am I plugging so much shit? I'm like,
It's right next to Sports Spinal and just next to
I
Elwood
know. It's just
Bakery.
you can do beeps or something if you need to.
That's fine.
I do this thing called Imperfect Produce where they go to like grocery stores and all this stuff. When there's like an excess or things
Mhm.
are like not pretty enough to sell, organic produce, they sell them for cheap and they deliver a box to your door. So it's like really good because you don't waste food and then you can select all the stuff. And they have great stuff. They're like coffee, everything, like fresh produce, poultry, vegetables, everything.
Is there anything that is off limits in regards to Imperfect that you won't eat? So something that you actually, it needs to be perfect.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Eggs. I mean, what is
Eggs,
Imperfect?
Definitely.
Yeah. You
I don't
need
eat
a cracked
anything
egg.
rancid.
Yeah, sure.
I hate avocados that smell perfumey. You know those ones
Oh,
when
yeah,
they're
sure.
overripe?
Yeah, yeah.
I cannot
So
stand that.
you're going to go perfect avocados. How much? Because
I'll go perfect
Mr.
avocados.
97's been talking about this a bit because he was saying we've been going to Whole Foods a lot.
Which it's-
Specifically for dinner and stuff, like where we just get the hot food or whatever and fill up a
Great.
box.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's a
$10.
cheap, healthy meal.
Yeah.
Unless Mr. 97 gets it because he's been getting, he thinks it's a box. I should fill the whole box and go above the line. $24 box.
I know it ends up just
That's
go to
a
restaurant.
$35 dinner.
We can't go to Froyo
Australia.
with this guy. We'll go broke.
Yeah, you would. Have you been to Erewhon?
No. What is it?
It's like the really, really fancy supermarket.
Really? I thought Whole Foods was fancy.
Yeah.
Nah. Go to Erewhon.
Erewhon.
Where is it?
You'll spend like truly $100 on 4 items.
Oh, really?
Just go and try the samples and get out of there. Because
Erewhon.
you will lose all your money there.
Wait, what street's it on?
It's around here. It's a West Hollywood type of thing.
Okay. Do they have a lot of stores or just the one?
Yeah, they got a few.
Okay.
Erewhon.
It's like the fancy bougie, like probably good spot to see celebrities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
You know?
good. We haven't
People
seen.
do celebrity tours. I'm like, go to Erewhon.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen a celeb other than yourself.
Yeah, I managed
I
to
don't
see
know
more
about-
when I was here in 2012. Great year.
20. Yeah.
That means you have not seen a celeb, by the way.
No, we have not seen any.
Not seen any.
Not seen any. It's,
Not
what are
any.
they hiding?
I
Have
don't
you
know.
seen any
I have. I've
recently?
seen a lot.
Who'd you see recently?
Jeff Goldblum a couple nights ago.
Oh, you
that's
saw
cool.
Jonah Hill. You were chatting
Yeah,
to him? He thought you were Ed Sheeran.
he thought. I actually think he thought I was Ed Sheeran because he said hello, how are you, and came over and I was like, there's a glitch in the Matrix. I'm like, why? It was just over here. I was like, why is Jonah Hill approaching me and acting like we know each other? And he seems so nice.
But maybe
he's-
it's-
maybe
he
he's
might
watched
just be a
something.
lovely guy.
But also,
Up
if
in
you're
Middleburg,
dressing,
may have seen it.
but it
it is
also,
on Hulu.
Yeah.
I
Netflix
don't know
too.
though. He's like truly one of the biggest actors in the world.
But also, Jonah's very big into the skating scene. You look like you could be a skater. Maybe he felt like there was some form of connection.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 30. If you're skating it over 30, it's a little bit like, what's
like
who
TikTok.
hurt you? What's
no,
happening? Are you
I
okay?
think if you
Just
start
kidding.
skating after 30,
Yeah, but just never have a child with an adult who skateboards. Just kidding. I'm joking.
that's me. That's me.
Do you skateboard?
Well,
He's
I've
got
got
no
my
electric.
electric.
Have a
I've got my
kid.
electric.
But
Yeah.
you had a kid before you got into skating? Oh, no,
Yeah,
you used
no,
to skate.
we used to skate. Elstey Bowl.
Yeah, but do you like do tricks or do you do like a longboard?
Oh, I've got a longboard now, but I like a long electric board. But I used to like in Shep when I
See,
lived
I
in
think
Shep.
that's cool
I had
because
it.
it's like that's you going. I'm no longer 20. I'll go on the electric one. It's sort of a smooth ride.
yeah.
You know, it's like a cruise.
I like comfort. I don't have to. I
Yeah.
don't want to push too much.
I'm gonna get the shit beaten out of me for saying that about skateboarding. Skaters are scary.
We've seen a few skaters around.
no, there's some
West
really
Hollywood.
good ones.
Mm.
There's some.
It was
good
the
community.
guy. We were at Whole Foods, and this guy was doing the most epic tricks.
It's remarkable.
Yeah,
I
like
said,
no
imagine
doubt.
if you focus your talent into.
No, but skateboarding's great. Look at Tony Hawk. He's done very well for
I just
himself.
saw him.
You just
Really?
That's a celebrity I saw at Netflix.
But you
I saw
just-
him in the lobby.
You
Oh,
just
that's cool.
it's like pointing out Tom Cruise in reference to acting. Tony Hawk's the great, like the biggest name in skateboarding ever.
Totally.
I get
And
that.
I know. He's really clever.
So
He's the exception to the rule. You know, he is like the best 30-something skateboard rider.
No, he'd be
he's like
48.
he's 50.
50.
He's 50. 30 something.
I don't know how old anyone is.
I
don't
reckon
know.
he's
Can you
52.
look up
Can you,
97?
let's have a
Yeah,
guess.
I think he's-
What's your actual guess?
I think
I
he's
guess he's 50.
All right,
I think
I'm going
49, 49.
I think he's 54 maybe.
52.
54?
52 for
He's
me. 49 for Reese.
54 for me.
54.
51.
Wow.
I think he's a legend and a hero.
Mate,
I feel
love
bad
him.
for dissing skaters because
No,
I
I
used
know,
to skate and I feel like I'm bitter because I was always the worst in our group.
No,
You know, I used to
don't feel
roll
like
my
that.
ankles. I couldn't do any tricks.
Do your ankles still click?
Yeah, they've been fixed from boxing though.
Really?
From always being on my toes.
Oh, that's good.
They're strengthened.
Your
And from
ankles.
wearing Asics, I think.
Great brand.
And so, living in LA, there's a lot of actors. How do they make money? Like, how do you make? Like, unless you don't, if from the outside you could see, unless you land a big role,
Uh-huh.
how do you know people are making money here?
Are they American or Australian?
Aussies.
Oh,
So if you've got a mate on Facebook back in Australia and you're looking and they're in
how do
LA,
they make money? I mean, if they're on a green card, they generally have jobs.
Mm-hmm.
If they're O1 like me, a lot of them are working as
Mm.
actors. Otherwise, I don't know. A lot of my friends that are here are working or they're back in Australia working.
yeah,
I'm one of the idiots that's just hung around hoping that it will pick up. But it's actually been an okay year. I mean, like, it's like when it gets really low, I find something comes through. Like
Yeah.
even that Ed Sheeran thing I did.
Mm-hmm.
It helps. And then I was like, uh-oh. And then I did another thing.
So do you have an agent or a manager, or how does that work?
I have an agent in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I have a manager and a lawyer
Okay.
here.
And what does the lawyer do?
He negotiates contracts
Mm-hmm.
and tries to make them better for me.
Okay.
And yeah, it's great. I mean, yeah, it's real. I really like having a lawyer.
Yeah.
It makes me feel secure. You know,
Are
that stuff
they-
scares me. I don't like.
are they pretty? Is the lawyer pretty hard? Like,
Does your lawyer have a billboard? Because a lot of lawyers have
Oh, yeah.
billboards.
No,
yeah.
thankfully. He's really cool. They have a lot of dogs in the office, which was a good sign.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I trust people based on the way they interact with animals.
Yeah.
I think like that made me feel like, okay, you're a good one.
Mason kicked a dog yesterday. No, I'm joking.
I kick dogs. I have, but you can't trust me. No, I kick dogs that have bound over at me. You know,
Yeah.
Reese had a dragon. What was it?
I had 3 Eastern water dragons.
Water dragons growing up. What else did you have?
I had
You had a rat named
Trevor.
Trevor. He
I
got
had
cancer.
mice.
Right.
Yeah, rip.
Rip Trev.
I think I wrote a rap about that. What else did I have? I had mice, which I fed to my snake.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh, you had a
it's
snake?
the circle of life. Get
Yeah.
used to it.
Were they frozen, the mice?
No, they were alive, pink
Oh,
one, little
really?
pinkies.
Mm.
Oh my god, people are going to be like tuning out now. That's disgusting.
fine.
I'm a reptile guy. Sorry. I know that like if reptilian shapeshifters are real,
What is that?
I feel like like the overlords, like the people that like run Hollywood, Illuminati,
sure.
all that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Who said who? Mark Zuckerberg. People say he's a he's
I feel like
reptilian
I'm
shapeshifter.
safe because of how good I've been to reptiles in my life. I feel like if they take over and kill humanity, they'll be like, he was always good to reptiles. He loved reptiles.
You love them.
I
What is
love
this?
them.
I don't know. What is a reptilian shape
Shapeshifter.
shifter?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I've
it's-
opened up the can of worms. Let me tell you, this is going to be your most viewed episode because I'm talking about Illuminati and reptilian shapeshifters.
I feel like you've been looking into this shit.
Oh, not so much. I mean, I just find it really funny. A lot of people believe it. I don't know.
Like the
I don't know
Illuminati.
anything.
Where people say Jay-Z's a part of the Illuminati.
Which I understand that stuff, but the idea that Mark Zuckerberg's a lizard.
Yeah,
is
look
what
up
sort
that. Mark Zuckerberg shapeshifter.
Mark Zuckerberg's a lizard. I mean,
Campton loves this
He
shit.
kind of looks like a lizard.
Yeah, yeah, but
Is
I
he
don't
going
know.
to shut this down because I said
Yeah,
that?
potentially. We diversify. We go on all platforms just to make sure.
Right.
Just Mark's on
When,
us.
when you used to go for holidays in LA, what would you
Where do I go?
Yeah,
I go to Palm Springs, or I go to Ojai, or I like to go to Topanga Beach and have a swim.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Just to freshen up.
But what about before you moved here, when you would actually go to LA, what were the things that you would do that you now potentially, as someone who lives here, you cringe at? What is the touristy things that we all fall into?
I mean, this place kind of is a bit of a theme park in some ways.
Sure.
Mm.
I would never ride a bus here,
Yeah.
ever.
Cool.
What else?
Are you
I
talking
wouldn't
public
hang-
transport bus, or are you talking about the
Yes.
red bus, like the
Just buses.
buses? Okay,
I wouldn't do that. I
uh,
wouldn't. I would always have a car. A lot of people don't get cars, and I'm like, what are you doing?
sure.
I guess with Uber and Lyft, it's easy, but
Do you avoid weather chat with locals? Because
Weather
it's
chat?
as in like,
Yeah.
fuck, how good's this weather?
The
It's-
good thing is it doesn't come up much.
Yeah,
it
that's right.
only
Yeah.
comes up if there's like a cloud, and
Yeah.
I'm like, thank God. But a lot of people like they call it June gloom here. You get this gloom in the
What is
in
gloom?
the early morning, like just cloudy. I really like it because it's cool.
Yeah.
It's like
in
temperate.
June, but June
That's
is summer.
Yeah.
I know it's weird. This place is weird, man. I think it's a simulation.
Yeah.
Run by the
really-
lizards.
Yeah.
It really, and the Illuminati.
Yeah.
It really fucking feels like a simulation.
It does. It's the same day every day. Like reload the program every day.
And then all the Teslas on the road, the technology. It's just the weird people.
It is so
The rich
weird here.
people.
No doubt. It is the
Yeah.
weirdest place. I can't believe it's real sometimes.
Is it? Does it feel lonely?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I miss Australia a lot. I wish that I definitely miss my family and my friends and my history, but I just need to be here right now. Like you talked about time frame, I don't know how long I'll be here, but I feel like I need to right now while I'm like still have an opportunity to do something with my career out here, and I've got some cool things happening here. I don't know. Like, I don't know where I'm going to end up. I would love to live in Melbourne. It's so beautiful. And, like, getting off the plane and walking around Melbourne, like, the air is fresh. It's calm.
Yeah. So if you were to just have a bucket load of cash and you could do whatever,
Yeah.
living in LA or Melbourne, like we talk about the perfect day, and if money wasn't a worry, what we would do, what would you do? Where would you live? What would you be doing? Give us a blow by blow. How would your day go?
Far out. Because I do love LA. I would like to be between here and Melbourne, for sure.
Okay.
Although, curveball,
Okay.
wouldn't mind living in the south of France.
Oh, really?
Really?
Baseball
Yeah.
reference. You are American. Curveball.
Yeah, I get
No,
it.
I'm with you.
Yeah, go
We
on.
got it.
So,
I go for the LA Dodgers.
oh, really?
Yeah, because
So
I live
do
in
I.
LA. I don't really
Okay.
know much about baseball.
And so south of France, have you spent time there?
Yeah. I went
Okay.
there once when I was 19, but I was like, this is truly the most stunning place I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see myself dying there. Sort of a good place to die.
Older,
wrap it
older
up.
age, or
Whatever.
It's
You
an
know,
auto.
whenever it's
accident.
happening, just there.
if you were, it's gonna
Yeah,
happen
it's like
there.
the closest thing to probably heaven on earth.
Yeah.
So
And so, in LA, what is the lifestyle if you were to do anything that you could do?
I would probably get those like IV drips every day that I mentioned earlier.
Would you really?
Okay.
The blast yourself with those healthy drugs.
Okay,
Where would
so
you be?
I said we should do one from one of those IV places.
Yeah, you want to?
Do a show.
Nah.
Do you know somebody?
Well, there's one called Drip Doctor that I was going to go to.
Yeah, but so, and Mr. 97, he said, oh, no way I'm doing that. Next minute he's out getting smashed at a nightclub, drinking.
Oh yeah, they have a hangover one.
No, but his pushback was on the whole IV thing. And I'm saying,
Like
what
whether
do you
it's
mean?
safe or
fine.
whatever.
It's like,
No,
it's just...
no.
But maybe talk about simulation. It feels like the ultimate programming and simulation.
Okay, give us the...
I love that you can do anything here in a way.
And so
Yeah.
what
It's
is the-
amazing. Like if you want to smoke marijuana, you can. You want to eat. I love CBD.
Black beans?
I like CBD.
Yeah.
You know, like without the THC,
The
so I don't
gummies?
go nuts and climb a tree or something.
Does it make
It's
you
like-
feel any different?
Yeah, it makes you feel relaxed and it like
What's
gets
the
rid of
cost in
inflammation.
some gummies?
Depends on which ones you get. I got a pack for $10 the other day.
Oh,
I
okay.
ate all of them in 2 days.
Really?
I was sleeping like an angel.
And so do you have them before
Bed.
bed?
I was actually having them first thing in the morning with coffee. I was like, I want to see if I can get a
Balance it
nice
out.
middle ground.
Just drop it into your coffee.
So can
Yeah.
you actually physically feel something
You can.
shift
You got to take them for a while though.
to
It's got to like
make
build
them-
up in your system and start to work. CBD is awesome,
Yeah.
and I think it will be legal in Australia soon
I
because
mean,
it
it's-
has a huge amount of benefits for the human body.
I mean, it's stopping young children seizuring.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like there's Brendan Schaub, you know Brendan
Yeah.
Schaub, fighter and the kid. His kid was having seizures, and that was the only thing that stopped them.
It's pretty amazing. We
And the
haven't
kid's
given-
not high; the kid's just
Yeah, yeah.
taking drops of
Yeah,
something that's
we
legal.
just haven't explored it enough because of all the laws around it.
What about the like the Trump stuff? Like you've been here for a while.
Trump?
I mean, just seeing this place is. I mean, Hollywood's quite progressive. They're very much against. They're not a Trump voting state. California's not a Trump voting state. Would you
No.
say?
No, it's not.
What's the noise? Is there much noise around
I
the
mean,
election stuff coming up?
Yeah, they're all obvious. California's Democrat. I mean, like, but very much like left. So, yeah, they're not really a big fan of Trump.
Yeah.
Anyway, Californians don't really like Trump. Generally. I mean, there would be some, but generally speaking.
Yeah. Do you think it's like I was thinking about what's noisier back home, or what we consume, and what the people on the ground here consume? Like we saw
Well,
these.
it's like Melbourne.
Yeah.
It kind of has the same feel as Melbourne, you know?
Do you watch much TV?
Yeah.
Like, would you watch the news? Like, do you watch the local news?
Not really. I
Like,
tend
is
to
it
watch
5?
news. Like, no, not really. I don't really. We
Yeah.
don't have like free to air.
Yeah.
You know.
Why does some stuff? Because what I was noticing, we went to Santa Monica Boulevard. There was the big parade on for Halloween,
Oh, that was sick.
and we had our camera out, and the amount of people that were coming up to us taking photos, it sort of blew our mind because we're here in Los Angeles, the home of Hollywood,
The glitz.
films, TV, all that sort of thing.
Tinseltown.
But it felt like people had more of a punter mentality than they would in Australia in regards to just interest factor
Yeah.
over a like fairly small camera.
Oh, over
What-
this?
Yeah. So like, what's the like?
Did you see the photo of us in our Halloween costumes?
No.
Oh, so we're standing. It's like we
Mhm.
set up right in the middle of the parade, and so yeah, it was a good position, but everyone
Uh-huh.
was walking past.
And they were taking heaps of people were taking photos
Well,
of
because
us doing it.
they're like, oh, we might have spotted someone. The thing is, everyone here is like, oh my god, you know, they don't know, and they kind of just are enthusiastic and like,
So
oh,
what
that
does
could
that
be
mean?
something important.
So-
I have a photo of it. I don't know what it is.
So is that people that aren't in the industry?
I would say
So they're doing.
I think people in the industry just play it real cool.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't know who anyone is.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, I made a huge mistake.
Did
Why?
you? What? Whatever.
You know Brie Larson?
I don't
No.
know anyone.
She's Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
97
No,
knows.
yeah.
We were. She's friends with some mutual friends.
Mhm.
She was being so funny. We were all having like dinner and stuff. She was being so funny, and I said to her, "Are you a comedian?" She was like, "No, I'm not a comedian." And I was like, "You should do comedy." She's like, "Kind of don't like." Anyway, we're just going back and forth. She told a story, and she was like really acting it out, and I was like, "You know, you really should consider becoming an actor." She won an Oscar in the past, and I was like, "Well." She took my advice. It's gone really well. She's now Captain Marvel. I'm like, I can pick him. It was so embarrassing, but I think it made her like me more because she knew I was talking to her genuinely
Yeah.
because I thought she was funny. And we spoke about kickboxing because she does like combat sports, and she's
Yeah.
like, I should come to your gym and do kickboxing. And I was like, absolutely, grab my number from someone.
Yeah.
Idiot! It's like the biggest actress in the world. Anyway,
And so,
whatever.
what did your mates call you out, or did she say something?
My friend
in that
said,
moment?
"Did you seriously?" She was there with her husband. It wasn't like I wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, we were just all chatting, and she was like, my friend was like, "Did you seriously tell Brie Larson to become an actor?" I was like, "Yeah, I think she'd be really good at it."
I mean, what's the?
I was right though. I'm like, at least my intuition is correct.
Yeah. No, you're spot on.
I can pick who's going to
Yeah.
be talented, and she
In
won
the
an Oscar
past.
in the past. So
Finding relationships and stuff in LA.
I'm dating an Australian.
Okay,
Mm.
so it's
So-
What about friendship circle? Because we've had pretty tight friendship circles back in Melbourne.
Yeah, I do miss that so much. You have no idea. I have to like push
Mm.
it down,
Mm.
push it down, Just talk to my therapist about it.
Have you got a therapist?
Yeah, of course. I live in LA.
what sort of therapist
yeah.
is it? A
I talk to an
shrink?
Australian.
Australian.
Yeah, I can't name the person.
Okay, but what is it?
No,
What's an
isn't it just the other way?
Australian
You can give
doing?
him a plug. If anything, they help you.
No.
Oh, you don't want? He
No,
doesn't
no,
want
no.
people having his
Oh,
therapist.
okay.
No, of course not. I can't share a therapist.
Why not?
I don't want to. This is going to come up in therapy. I've only just started, but it's really helpful because
What do you?
you know I can't. Yeah, this is like anyway. I do have this battle with like wanting to be in Australia and wanting to be here. This I don't know. It's an interesting thing. So
I mean-
a lot of things in my life are Australian, and like for that reason, you know, I do really miss my friends back home, and I miss the history. I miss my family, and it's an interesting thing. And I kind of just deny it. I'm like, that's over there. I'm not going to acknowledge it. But yeah, I feel it's a you know, there is a real sense of isolation being out here and just wanting to do acting and this stuff and be in this industry, and it's all you think about.
Did you ask the
weird.
therapist? Like, part of me would be wanting to be like, why is an Aussie? What's an Aussie therapist doing in Los Angeles?
No, I Skype him.
Oh, really?
Oh, back home.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to talk to an Australian because I was like, you'll understand me.
Yeah. Is the Skype connection good?
Sometimes it drops out.
Use FaceTime. It'll be much
No,
much
FaceTime
cleaner.
is really
And
good.
so,
Therapy's cool, by
What-
the way, and I think everyone should do it.
And therapy, have you done
Yeah,
therapy in person versus virtually? And is there
no,
a bit of a
I've only
difference?
done Skype.
You've only done
I'm
Skype.
very new to it.
Uh-huh.
I think everyone should do it, especially men.
Yeah.
Men should
Yeah.
talk about their feelings more. This is why there's so much men are not happy.
Mm.
You know, they don't talk about it. They just like, that's toxic masculinity, is not talking about what you're actually feeling.
Mhm.
Go and do it. Go connect with someone, and it's okay to be sensitive.
And what's the point that got you to actually
5 minutes. Yeah.
doing it? So Americans love therapy. It's like you said.
I think it was just like, you know, if I'm going to continue to have this career that is all about being accepted by other people,
yeah.
you know, I should probably arm myself with some tools, like some tools to deal with the amount of rejection and the isolation, all these things you feel. So it's just about like being stable in myself so that I can continue to battle for these things.
What's the
and not destroy myself in the process.
what's the feeling the day before the therapist versus the day after the therapist?
I guess anxious, and then feeling like a sense of peace because you have some tools to manage those things.
Mhm.
You know,
And
that's
then
all
does
it
it
really
like
is.
build up? Does it become this thing of like, okay, so if it's fortnightly or whatever, sort of like the pressure then builds up, and then you have to do it again, and then it's sort
Not so much. I think for
No.
me, it's more like working out skills, like going to a gym and working on
Mhm.
a thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to just be very practical with
Mhm. That makes sense. We've done improv a few times on the podcast where we create a bit of a scene, and we all act and perform. And given that you are an actor,
This is so weird because this is a game that me and my housemates do.
really
But we
great.
do
perfect.
really menial tasks. Glenn Robbins invented it.
Yeah.
Menial tasks like walk across a room, sit in a chair, make it look natural. You have no motivation other than that's the chair you want to sit in, and it's fucking impossible. What do I do with my arms? Like, how do I walk?
I remember you showed me this guy years ago who walked like left arm goes with his left leg,
Yes,
and then
yes.
there was that guy in the backyard that
Yes.
used to just walk up and down.
Oh
Walking.
my
Remember
god!
that?
I
That was a
remember
video
guy.
15 years ago. You showed me.
Oh, that guy, and he used to make pillows out of dog hair. Yeah.
Isn't it?
So
That's
let-
your therapist.
Yeah, that's him. He's helping me a lot.
So we
we
do
can
a
all
set-
see eye to eye.
So how about you run the scene?
Okay,
You tell us
But
what's up.
we don't want to have to move
Yeah, we
around.
can't.
So
I
it's,
mean,
it's
I
very
can
much
stand
a
up to
dialogue.
you.
Do you want to do dialogue or just
dialogue,
action?
mainly dialogue.
You know what's
But-
so funny? I was playing this game with my girlfriend last night, and the task was to walk across the room, sit in a chair, and she truly fell over. It was like, and fell and like stomped into the room and fell into this rocking chair. It was like, it's quite hard doing the simple tasks.
Oh,
so
yeah.
fun. I want that to be, when I get home, I'm going to tell my girlfriend Brie, I'm like, we're doing improv Saturday
Yeah,
night.
it's really fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun thing to do. Okay, what's the thing going to be? Okay, I feel like Tommy has to come in and tell Josh he no longer wants to do the podcast with Josh.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
he thinks Mr. 97 and you should swap.
Okay, sure.
Should swap jobs, and then you have to
Wait, so
justify.
you're
I have to
starting
do
the
it, and then
podcast?
I'm
Wait.
doing the podcast with
No, I
Then
think
you're starting a new one.
with Mason.
You're
Or?
doing the nightly talk show.
the night-
You want to do nights because you think it'll play better.
And so I guess
All right,
part
all
of it is, so I'm not being replaced. Tommy's decided that he's starting a new podcast.
I think that's better.
But maybe he's pretending. Yeah, okay, great. No, we'll just
okay,
let it.
and so you got to come into it somehow. Who are you?
I'm the guest.
You're Luca.
I'm Luca. Luca, my character Luca, fantastic. I got this character called Luca. He's from Sydney.
Yeah.
Oh, I love West Hollywood. I love it.
What do you
so
love about it?
fantastic. Oh, just all the shops. so cool.
All right, here we
yeah,
go.
Brooke's just in the shower. When Brooke's ready, we'll go.
Okay.
Here we go.
So wait, what am I doing?
So Luca. So
Okay.
I'm not Luca.
yes, you're Luca. Yeah.
I'm
And-
interviewing Luca.
Okay.
And so this is.
So all
Okay,
right,
just
let's-
go.
Just play.
Don't overthink it because it's going to be shit anyway.
Mate,
Yeah.
don't. He'll never overthink anything. Why are you being so weird?
I've got something to tell you, dude.
Yeah. Do you want to do it after we've spoken to Luca, or?
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, you just go. No worries.
Okay.
I'm happy to wait.
So yeah, I've been thinking about it heaps, and I don't think a lot. I try not to. So I'm thinking I'm going to stop doing the daily
This
talk show.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I want to take it in a different direction
Why are you telling me now?
because I think this is going to be our last interview with Luca.
Oh, I feel honoured. That's fantastic. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, I can't tell if you're taking the piss or
No,
not.
I'm
It
serious.
seems
So-
like you're taking the piss.
No, I know, but I'm going to. Oh, this is the last one, and I'm starting a new podcast.
Okay. That does seem like a joke.
No, I'm doing the nightly talk show.
The nightly
I-
talk show.
Yeah,
Oh,
I just
nice.
think it opens me up to new guests and
Mhm.
new format.
More sophisticated.
Yeah.
Night time.
So what happens with the business and everything?
Look,
Start a new one.
I'll start a new one.
Start a new
and
one.
and Mr. 97, He's actually. I've spoken to him.
Yeah.
He's coming with me.
Have you really been speaking with?
Yeah, I mean that was the plan.
I could do I could do your socials. I could do your social media.
Yeah.
I feel like Luca's involved in some way.
Yeah, I might do the socials.
Look, we'll talk about that. But Mr. 97 and I are actually going to be hosting the nightly talk show.
All right.
And this is. I'm not joking.
Can I still do the daily talk show?
Well, I won't be with it, so it won't really mean anything.
Don't know. I don't know legally if you can. With the, it's
Luca,
tied up with the business, so
what do you think, Luca? I mean,
I'm just excited to be on the show. Final show. It's going to be so sick. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
You know, you got stuff going on.
Should we
he's got
start the
stuff
show
going
then?
on.
yeah. Okay, last one. This is the last daily talk show.
It's the daily talk show. Our last ever episode.
We got Luca.
Oh, I love it so much here in LA. It's so fantastic. It reminds me so much of Sydney.
Yeah.
I love Sydney. Yeah, I wish the beaches aren't as good here.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's sick. I could live here.
Mm.
Yeah. So,
How long are you here for?
I'm just going to stay. Yeah. Just play it by ear.
Mhm. Yeah, it's been a strange day. Did you want to talk about it or
Strange day.
do we end scene or how long does it go for?
Cut.
Okay, good work, guys.
What'd you think?
I thought it was really
It was
sad.
quite.
I didn't really. I was like, I shouldn't be here. I think it was good.
Yeah.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
It was so it was so
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
I like
yeah.
Luca's support.
Well,
of
jokes.
It's all going to be good.
The problem with jokes
I had to
is
pick it up a bit because the energy was getting so gloomy. I was like, oh my gosh.
well, there's also I think there's like a Russian saying around like within jokes like it's 50-50, 50% like funny, 50% real.
I can't believe Russians say that. It seems more like
70-30.
Yeah, 70-30. 70 like depression, 30% hope.
No, but no, it did feel pretty real.
It felt good. I like that. I think like comedy's in the tragedy.
Yeah.
Right?
Did I
Yeah.
talk too much? I was worried that I heard something.
No, I think that if that was a real scenario,
Mhm.
you would probably talk more.
Yeah.
And that was what I was thinking. I was listening to a Rainn Wilson, his memoir, and he was talking about one of the actors, and she said basically nothing through this improv scene, and it was just all facial expressions, and he was saying how good
Yeah.
she was because improv, people tend to overtalk. They think
Sure.
that they need to be
That's really
adding.
interesting. I think that's a matter of just listening, and then you'll respond appropriately.
Mhm.
You know, I think in a scenario like this,
Mhm.
you would probably try and reason a lot
Yeah.
because your business.
Well, yeah, I was
You
just
wouldn't
trying
just be like, that would be quite pathetic. If you just shut down and like, get in therapy, mate. Stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
Anywho.
All right. Love you.
We're
Ed.
just taking it away.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you. I know we've just met.
It's a Daily Talk Show. Do you listen to any podcasts? Any recommendations?
Only the Daily Talk Show.
I know.
Truly, it's my favourite. Reminds me of home.
Mhm. And favourite bakery, Elwood Bakery. Favourite.
Osteo.
Well, we don't need to
no,
plug
no.
all them.
No.
Let's just plug the Daily Talk
Okay,
Show.
yeah,
no.
You should have brought me a sweater.
Yeah, no,
I know.
yeah.
Anyway,
Next
Or a
time.
tee.
97, give him yours.
It's too hot for sweaters anyway, to be honest.
It's winter.
I know, but it's 27 degrees. It's
I'm
31
boiling.
on Friday.
Yeah, I'm boiling.
It's
I know.
ridiculous.
It's a Daily Talk Show. If you've enjoyed the show, screen grab it. Reese's Drip Coffee on Instagram.
Anyone offered you more money for that
I got someone the other day hit me up.
again?
I said 50 grand. He said $50. I was like, get out of here.
Yeah.
I told him his business would not be a success. He doesn't know an opportunity when he says it.
Bitch, I'm Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, I'm Ed Sheeran, bitch.
It's a Daily Talk Show. See you tomorrow, guys.
See ya.
Ciao for now. See you on the beach.